Good evening and welcome to Channel Yemaswati News. My name is Kanyisile Mabuza. Before we start with our news bulletin, let's take a look at our top stories making headlines this evening. His Majesty King Yemaswati III today received gifts presentations from various Yemaswati towards the Ingwala ceremony. The Ingwala ceremony today took its fifth day as the king is dancing at Ngabeveni Royal Palace, while Her Majesty the Queen Mother in Indlovukazi continues at the BULLETIN Royal Palace. And finally, a homestead at Bunya was petrol bombed by arsonists today. Before we carry on with our news bulletin, viewers at home, let's reiterate the message that we have just seen from the Ministry of Health, the National Disaster Management Agency sponsored by ESWATINI, that encourages all Yemaswati to adhere to the basic protocols put in place to fight against the spread of COVID-19. And now let's continue with our news in detail. His Majesty King Yemaswati III today received gifts presented by various people at the Ngabezweni Royal Palace. These gifts are in the form of cattle and other items that are going to go towards the Ingwala ceremony. Let's have a report.
Companies, individuals and business people made meaningful contribution towards Ingwala at Ngabezweni Royal Residence before His Majesty King Yemaswati III. They presented donation where 105 cattle were donated towards the ceremony. Over 2 million worth of food consignments was also donated, and checks amounting to 448,800 emalangeni and other pledges.
Siyabonga kakhulu bekunene ukuthi nakunemkhosi longaka lokulo umkhosi wenkwala mkhulu kabi. Niyabona nonke sive singakanani nabo COVID nabo bagokile akutholakala nalungakanani athi samangala nje sikukhona ukukhululeni kulethile nako sithi awasithathe lelithuba bekunene lekunibonga nonke njengoba nani nikhanze kokuhle uzawu umkhosi wenkwala ngeke kube netinkinga nikhona utawuvela uhambe esigaba sawo njengoba senwendile nini bekunene asibonge kakhulu kwanze lapho nithethe khona bekunene.
For Channel Yemaswati News, I'm Linda Shongwe, Kimbali Mavuso, Ngabezweni Royal Residence.
The Little Ingwala ceremony today took to its fifth day as His Majesty the King is dancing with Lamnyama at Ngabezweni Royal Palace, while Her Majesty the Queen Mother and Indlovukazi continues with the royal family and the rest of Yemaswati at BULLETIN Royal Palace. Let's have a report.
His Majesty King Yemaswati III continued to dance Little Ingwala as it entered into day 5 at Ngabezweni Royal Residence, where the Rose of Regiment continued to show energy and excitement to be part of the ceremony. At BULLETIN Royal Residence, Her Majesty the Queen Mother continues to lead the dance of Ingwala with Lamnyama Regiment. Yemaswati News, I'm Linda Shaw with Kimberly Mavuso, BULLETIN rural residents.
The Minister for Commerce, Industry and Trade, Senator Mangoba Khumalo, has encouraged young people to engage in businesses. He was encouraging them to start their own business and also support others because they are the backbone of the economy. He was speaking today at the National Champions Day for the Junior Achievement event that was held in Manzini. Let's have a report.
Junior Achievement has been teaching young people, especially school-going students, to start their own businesses while they are still at school. Today was the National Championships Day, whereby the students that were competing in their regions were to do their presentation and the winner to represent the kingdom in Africa.
Lamhla-ke sibonile lama projects alabantwana ayamangasana nje impela baqhamuke nema ideas lamahle latasida kakhulu live and lesikhuthazako ukuthi basaqhubeka netifundo zabo baya nasemakolleji labanye baphuma bayo babosomabhizinisi baqhubeke nalama projects bangawalahli bangabe sebathi obebakwendela nje ukuthi bentela le program but kukhanye lokho ukuthi sekuba indlela yokuphila ngoba wonke umuntu lotawubuka ukuthi uyawuqasha nalotawubuka uqasha uhulumende lamhla sekulukhuni imisebenzi ayisiyo leminyenti lekhona lesikhuthaza ukuthi bantwana uma baphuma nje etikolweni bavele bakhona ukuqala imisebenzi yabo bente emabhizinisi so lesikubuka konke kulamabhizinisi ukuthi.
According to the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Senator Mangoba Khumalo, he stated how humbling it is that the Kingdom of Eswatini is currently the best in Africa.
Ngineqiniso ukuthi sangabi number 1 noma number 2 kulo mnyaka lotako Africa region batawucelebrate. So we need to try very hard and keep the pace so that at least we stay on top notch at Africa regions.
The battery store energy up to 2 hours, but you can also buy extra batteries so that if there is the sun at that time,
yes,
you can charge them, then replace our
I see. Or are you already commercializing it?
Yeah, so currently we sell 4 products and battery 6.
The competition is expected to be at Ivory Coast next year. Reporting for Yemaswati channel, I am Nhlanhla Twala at the Georgia Hotel in Manzini.
Today, before High Court Judge Dikeme Dlamini appeared Pastor Themba Masimula, whose wife died in a car crash, which then led to a fire that she got burnt beyond recognition. This is where he stated that he could not risk his life and go and check if his wife was still alive or had been actually able to escape the car crash before dying. Let's have a report. Today, before High Court Judge Dikeme Dlamini appeared, murder-accused Pastor Themba Masimula, who has been accused of murdering his deceased wife Funegile Mdluli. Masimula stated that he could not afford to be reckless and risk his own life when he was cross-examined when they made any means to confirm if his wife Funegile Mdluli managed to escape from the burning car following their accident. The accused refuted allegations that he was responsible for starting the fire and that he did not bother to look for his wife because he was aware that she was dead. The car was reportedly involved in an accident while Masimula was traveling with his wife, who died after the vehicle accident allegedly caught fire. Masimula further made contradictory statement as he insisted that his leg was fractured during the accident, contrary to his medical report, which has not been challenged. He revealed that following the accident, he ran towards a nearby Dunn homestead to seek assistance, which raised questions on whether he had a fracture in his leg. The accused mentioned this while responding to questions posed by Principal Crown Counsel Lomvula Hlope during his cross-examination before the judge. The accused was represented by his attorney Noncedo Mandla, and when questioned whether he had seen the deceased escape from the vehicle such that he found it sufficient to call her on a mobile phone, he admitted that he had not, but only hoped that she was able to escape after he failed to pull her out of the vehicle before he was thrown out of the vehicle by an explosion. When questioned whether it was true that he knew that she was dead, hence the decision not to look for her, he denied that and said, had the records for the frantic phone calls he made to the deceased been availed, that would have assisted his case. He further submitted that with the assistance of his friend, Pastor Muzi B. Kanyile, who he referred to as a brother, they attempted to call his wife's mobile phone while pacing up and down the road near the accident scene before he was taken away by the ambulance personnel. When a question was posed as to why he did not go and confirm if she had managed to escape from the burning vehicle, Masimula said he could not afford to be reckless, and that he decided to rush to receive medical attention instead of looking for his wife, as he had not sustained life-threatening injuries. He mentioned that he did not pay cash for his medical bills, but instead used the medical aid under his deceased wife, as they were all covered. With regards to the medical reports, which indicated that he had neither fracture nor dislocation, warranting him to have a plaster of Paris, the accused submitted that it was not what the medical report said. He stated that the person who created it intentionally misled the court, or it was coerced to lie. He said the doctor who treated him at the Mabane Government Hospital recommended that his right leg be put in the plaster of Paris. He added that to date he was still attending physiotherapy as a result of the injuries he sustained on the day in question, and he had his last appointments just last week. Principal Crown Counsel Mvula Hlope put to the accused that the hospital appointments may not be related to the day-in accident, and that the medical report, which was part of the evidence, was yet to be challenged in court. The cross-examination was adjourned as the High Court was fumigated, and it will resume on the 10th of January 2022. I'm Kanyisile Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News High Court. Children today escaped death at Bunya when unknown people petrol-bombed their homestead. This happened this morning in the very early hours, and it is stated that these people had let some cattle free to eat in the fields of this same family. Let's have a report.
It is said that the house was petrol-bombed in the early hours today by unknown people at Bunya. According to Sanele Jele, she heard a disturbing sound which made her to wake up, and that's when she noticed that the house was burning. She said that she first called the children to safety before she called for help to extinguish the fire.
Past 3 XN. Beng solong agak min jeng asing bukan ngana tasing yang banyak tim ngakim ngala. Ngasing ba imba pomala sitting room. Ngasing bukan ngabona kanya la nasuk nem lom kula. Ngasing avlale dem nyang wala kamera. Akan la siyasha. Ngabusala abantwana lebalele khona saphuma. Lasizibusala labanye labalele ngalekuleli indlu sabiye sacima lomlilo. Nasicima sabona ke inkomo kusese tivulelwe tilansimenti idle mabele sasesikhipha tona eseyabuya ke siyadvalela sesishayela babe ngoba semsebentini.
Lothi niyasola ukuthi lokwendiwe ngenhloso.
Kwendiwe ngenhloso but asay umonakalo bekhona ube mncane hayi kakhulu but bantwana baphilile kube beteluthola ingoti.
For Yemaswati channel Mkeri Carlos Bunya.
Sunday Chill Out presents the Divas Concert with Kelly Kumalo and your favorite local divas. Come join us on the 12th of December from 12 noon until 7 p.m. at the George Hotel Gardens. Get yourself a ticket from as low as 200 Malangeni for General and 380 Malangeni for VIP. Do not miss out. The Sunday Chill Out with Kelly Kumalo. Sunday Chill Out.
Gender-based violence can be one of the most difficult situations to talk about and to escape from. Sadly, it can happen to anyone: women, men, children, between spouses, and even friends.
I had a lot of anxiety. I didn't know what to do. I thought no one would believe me.
I never thought this could happen to me. I've never been so heartbroken and scared.
I felt weak, and I had no idea how I was ever going to come up with the strength to seek help. But I just closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and took it blindly.
When the abuse started, I didn't feel like reporting, as I thought that would make me seem like a weak man. But it didn't stop. I realized my silence allowed for the abuse to go on, and I decided to report. Reporting abuse is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of courage.
I was worried and ashamed. I didn't want my friends and family to know.
Do not suffer in silence. To seek help, get more information, or to report any form of abuse, call toll-free line 951 or SMS SWAGA to 8500.
iCash Hardware offers a wide range of industry-leading painting material from roller brushes to a variety of durable paints. We have everything you need from high-quality aluminum windows to elephant doors. iCash has the best electrical materials such as conduit pipes and house wires. High-quality roofing material like strong timber, heavy tiles, IPR, corrugated iron and nails. Visit iCash today and get the strongest building materials such as wheelbarrows, mesh wires and reinforcements. We offer the most popular cement. At iCash, we have unbeatable prices for irrigation pipes, maize and water tanks. We offer convenient delivery from all our branches across the Kingdom of Eswatini. For more information, contact us at 24371 710 or send us an email at buycashhardware@gmail.com. Buy cash, buy quality, buy it less.
Nalo liquthe elikhala lijabulela kutsabuka kwekusa batukulu babanzotela ingani phileti uyabhadla inqanqwane entengane emanda savela yaqaphathela emakhamba semengabononi neti ngomshini shukela lo sekusele manje ngishukela shukela waseSwatini lonothile luengete amandla oqala la sugar tsanza shukela
Yebo Yesu silende buthakathi nemanoyo ashabalala empilweni yakho ngomhla ka21 November kule lisonto lesiya kulo Dr Prophet Major V umema sonke sive kule nkonzo yakususa emabulawo kumuntu healing and deliverance service ngelisonto nga10 kuseni utabe apha abantu le prophetic juice mahala ha akuthelezele ngokugqoba ngemafutha ubambe impumelelo yakho umnikelo wale nkonzo ngu100 emalangeni kuphela sesifikile lesikhathi sempumelelo yakho Dr Prophet Major V ukulethela ingqayithi vele yenkonzo ye-Prophecy Healing and Deliverance PhD Service mhla ka-12 December 2021 kulelisonto lesiya kulo entsabeni yelisijisho esigodlweni kumathapha inkonzo iqala nga-10 ekuseni phatha umnikelo wakhona nga-80 emalangeni Dr Prophet Major V utabe anointa agqobisa abantu nge-oyili yemali qhubeka bandisha manje kunedinombolo ungaphutheli
As a rest bank, and thank you very much for staying with us. I'd also like to take this opportunity and welcome all of our viewers who have just tuned in to channel Yemaswati News. And now let's continue with our news bulletin. The Royal Eswatini Police Service still continues on their endeavor to visit various regions in teaching women about gender-based violence. This is well in line with the global campaign of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And Channel Yemaswati today caught up with them at Ngwene in the Shiselweni region, whereby they were undertaking the same campaign. Let's have a report.
As the rest of the world commemorates the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, which is a day that is aimed at eliminating violence in the world over, our reporters today witnessed the Royal Eswatini Police Service going about their annual program, which is enlightening people about gender-based violence and picking their brains as to how violence can end in the kingdom. Today they were at the Shiselweni region, where they toured different parts of the region, which includes Mehlwabovu, Ngwene, to name but a few. We conducted an interview with a member of the service who mentioned that this is an annual program that usually yields good results.
Ingikithiyayo nje-ke sibuke kona kuphepha, sibuke kona kupromota umthetho lesolo umusha kubantu wawo isodo. so sithi kasiphume sicabute nesive sikhulumisane sisharishe lelo lwati leselikhona siyayithola ke response siyakubona siya achieve kakhulu fruitfully singasho ukuthi ingqikithi yethu nje kule major operation yabasadi sihambisa bomake embili sithi asebathi khombe nabo ukuthi ngente kwabo babe bheka.
I am Zandile Mpapane for Channel Yemaswati News with Kawemamba Ngwene Shiselweni.
Members
The
of the
case of the members of parliament, Honorable Baqede Mabuza and Mthandeni Dube respectively, continued today as the video that was being viewed yesterday was actually continued, and Mduduzi Smelane was actually saying some words. This is where he was heard countlessly saying that their core mandate was for political reforms, not regime change. Let's have a report. Today, before High Court Judge Mamsi Dlamini, there was the continuation of the MP's case of Honorable Baqede Mabuza and Mthandeni Dube, where the viewing of the video that was started yesterday, whereby Honorable Baqede Mabuza had already spoken and Honorable Mthandeni Dube had already spoken. The continuation was that of Mduduzi Smelane, who is affectionately known as Gauzela. On the video, he is heard stating that the call for justice for Thabani was not their influence for the press conference. He stated that their struggle for political reforms started way before the call for justice for Thabani. He went on to explain that it was not about excitement that they spoke with the government about the concern of neglecting the nation. He stated that they did not want a regime change. The people they had spoken to at the time were not talking about regime change. This is where it was explained that regime change and the government are two different entities. In the video, they were talking about government, not terrorism act. They stated that the authorities, which is the regime, and the government are two different things. Simelane was heard stating on many occasions that they were only talking about the government because they wanted an elected prime minister, not to change the regimes. He then clarified his position of being called president, defining himself as a president of a church. He also likened himself to Bishop Samson Tlajwayo, who is the president of the League of African Churches, as well as Kanyagwezwe Vilagati, who is the president of the Jericho Church in Zion. He said that is nothing unfamiliar because it is very common in the Christian fraternity. He also stated that they were calling for political reforms, and they did not say that they did not want the local authorities to continue being in power. He went on to narrate how chiefs would select their personally preferred Butopo back in the day before it was changed to the system that is currently prevailing in the kingdom. And that is why he stated that they felt it was possible to have an elected prime minister. The case was, however, adjourned at 3 p.m. because there had to be fumigation in the High Court following a positive case of COVID-19 that was discovered. The Crown in this case is represented by Gareth Lepan, and the defense is represented by Jacobus van Vuren. The case is going to continue tomorrow. I am Kanyisile Mambuza for Channel Yemaswati News, High Court. Swazi Bikers is an organization that has announced a blood donation run, as they stated that on Saturday they are going to be at Ezulwini, whereby they will be donating blood to patients of the Kingdom of Eswatini. This is where they invited the entire nation and anyone who may be willing to give away blood, because it is since become a necessity in many of the hospitals in the country.
The Eswatini Blood Transfusion Service, in collaboration with Swazi Bikers, announced a blood donations drive on the 11th of December. Lunga Njali of the EBTS hopes to raise awareness and sensitize the nation towards blood donation. The service hopes to receive sufficient donations at the drive this Saturday.
Njengoba sathi nje ukuthi ingadi ikuphila umuntu nakagula noma involved ngotini where ayidzinge ingadi.
Biker Patrick Lamini spoke about the hindrances COVID-19 has presented when it comes to the donation of blood. Lamini says it is imperative to create a culture of donating blood and urges all Yemaswati and bikers alike to show support for this initiative.
sitawunikela ingadi njengoba nje kungikhisimuzi.
Lunga Njalinjali of the EBTS hopes to raise awareness and sensitize the nation towards blood donation.
Nikela kwakho wendela ukuthi umhlaba uqhubeke uphile, abantu baqhubeke baphile. Sitawucela ke sitawu-encourage Yemaswati ukuthi ake ate unikela ngala kumgcibelo sihlale sisetables. Kodwa ke emkhathini weliviki siyatholakala eMbabane eBlood Bank kubukanani eMinistry of Education kamanzini eBlood Bank iseceleni kwasemaphoyiseni. Sikhona ke umsombuluko kuyashaya isihlalo sivulile. Emkhathini weliviki ke sihlale sitholakala etinzabeni etehlukahlukene. Kuleli viki lesikilo nje siyatholakala at the plaza eMbabane nakhona solo siyanikelisa.
Reporting for Channel Yemaswati News, Abongile Mabuza and Kimberly Mavuso, Mbabane.
And with that, we have come to the inevitable end of our news bulletin. And viewers at home, before signing out, let's take a look at our top stories making headlines once again. His Majesty the King today received gifts that are going towards the Ingwala ceremony at the Ngabazweni Royal Palace. The Little Ingwala ceremony today took to its 5th day as the King is dancing at the Ngabazweni Royal Palace, while Her Majesty the Queen Mother in Indlovukazi continues in song at the Lututini Royal Palace. Children escaped death at Bunya when their homestead was attacked by arsonists. Thank you very much for staying with us. I do hope you're going to have a good night. And when I leave, I'm going to leave you with a message from the National Disaster Management Agency and the Ministry of Health, sponsored by UNICEF ESWATINI. Please do have a good night and may God bless you.